Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, your non-affiliated NASCAR, well, not only NASCAR, but podcast.
We do talk non-NASCAR racing.
That's what I was going to say.
Occasionally.
We're not affiliated with NASCAR, so we're non-NASCAR affiliates.
So if they were gonna beg us to come work with them, what would we charge them? What would we sell our souls out to? Our independence?
I mean, I'm thinking $25,000 an episode.
Ooh,
What do you think?
we can do 50 a year. Oh, what the
That damn light won't stay on.
heck is going
Oh
on?
well, we just won't have the light this week.
It's haunted.
It is haunted.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm thinking $25,000 an episode.
What if they just said, "Hey, we'll give you a salary,
Would that
$250,000 a year"? Is that doable with benefits?
Is that $250 each?
Yeah.
Or do we have to split it?
What do you think they pay Corey?
Okay, so $250 each.
Well, I don't know what they pay Corey.
You think you get? I mean, I'm sure you get paid, right?
Is that Glass Menagerie thing still going on?
No?
Ryan
Glass
Blaney?
Glass
Glass
Holes of
Holes.
America. I saw where they actually did a reunion show the other day. So
I never listened to it when he was doing it, to be honest with you.
I tried to get into it, but it never
weird.
really. I like Kim Coon, and I like Blaney. I won't ever pick him again in fantasy. Gosh, he's killing me.
No, he didn't do too bad.
31st.
Yeah, it's not last.
It's not Denny.
That was Denny that was
who I
last.
also had in fantasy.
I mean, he beat like 5 people.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't pick him anymore
that's,
either.
That's what they tell. That's what they used to tell Cody when he get
Just
out of
like,
the car.
I
You
ain't-
beat 5 people this week.
Oh, there was not an F1 race this week.
There wasn't,
But Max still won.
yeah,
I
Max-
did a apricot,
He did.
strawberry.
This guy's not the brightest.
It was colorful. I
Star in
didn't
the
read
sky.
what was in it.
He gets this Red Bull and buys it because it's an orange can. Because there was no cautions in the race.
That wasn't enough.
And he didn't look at the flavors. It is strawberry. What is it? Strawberry apricot?
Apricot. Whoever had
What's an
apricot
apricot
soda?
taste like? I don't know. We're going to
Well.
find out. So here's to Max.
Max, you won even when they didn't race.
Yeah, Max is always going to win. This thing has 20 calories in it. That's not bad at all.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's a lightning bolt from the back of my neck to my butthole. Oh, that
Was
is-
it? So, if you
Ow!
were going to describe the flavor of strawberry apricot, what would it be?
If I was into pee drinking, that's what I would have drank.
Taste-
Oh my! Oh, I can't even think straight.
I mean, Red Bull is not the best flavor in the world anyway. This is.
Oh,
I've got a sugar-free, and his is
dude, it's
the
like I
Amber
used
Edition Red Bull energy drink, strawberry and apricot, or as
Oh.
Jamie likes to refer to it, PP.
or
P. What
a
else would
dirty
it taste like?
tampon uses a tea bag.
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh, or with kidney
Oh.
stones stirred in.
Oh,
Oh, men's kidney stones.
that's horrible. That's just nasty.
Oh. That was for you, Max.
Yeah, Max. I don't even sound like you like Max the way you described the taste of that.
Well, I mean,
It's got 160 calories in it.
oh my goodness.
Must be all the sugar. This has
Yeah, I usually do the sugar free.
0.
Well,
And it's from West Virginia.
this is because we sponsor.
That's from Russia.
We sponsor Red Bull. They don't sponsor us.
This one's from Russia.
It is from some weird state. CCP, isn't that the old Russian
Oh, it's
symbols?
China.
How do you
CCP.
get Russia out of CCP?
China's communist people? CCP.
Oh, that was Chinese?
Yeah, you just drink.
I got a problem
why-
with Chinese manufacturing.
That's a fact. No,
Oh,
Jamie, you did some car work over the weekend, I
I
understand.
broke a car.
Let's start. Which one would you like to start with, the Element or the Boxster? Because you had a...
Oh, that dude pissed me off in the Boxster, but I had a nice comeback for that challenged feller. Guy was challenged. Bud Light drinker. I think he was drunk on Bud Light. There is energy in that Red Bull.
So we're talking about Friday, Jamie sends me a text that Friday evening, he sends me a text, the mail never showed up and his car's in pieces. Did you get the Boxster put back together?
Yes.
Okay.
I drove it here.
So it's good to go.
Good to go. The pieces showed up. But then I get a check engine light on the Element.
Yeah, this is the one that made me laugh.
And I get my code reader out. I read my code. And I'm like, oh, easy fix. Radiator water temperature sensor. That's when it went bad.
The water temperature sensor?
Yep.
Okay.
The bottom of the radiator.
Okay.
So I look up the repair
Screws
manual. It says deep socket 17 millimeter. I go get me some Honda coolant because I'm going to lose some.
Yeah.
I take it off. I get I'm not going to use the car parts store. They'll sue me because they suck.
You went to the...
I went to a car parts
store.
supply store in town. Got a replacement, not a genuine Honda replacement.
Not OEM.
But I was, I'm cheap. I was excited because I noticed at our local Honda dealer's online site, it was $45 for the sensor, and it was only $18 for this weird name one.
Okay.
At the auto parts store.
So you're saving some money.
Plus, they're open, where Honda was closed for Saturday. So, I get the sensor. I'll look up torque specs, because I have German cars I work on.
Okay.
Everything has to be torqued. 17 pounds. I set my torque wrench to 17 pounds, crawl under the car, ratchet it. I'm like, wow, it didn't click. I'm going little 2-click turns, waiting for the loud click. And I do 2, nothing. I'm like, wow, it hasn't made it there yet. I do it again, and there's no resistance. I'm like, what the hell? So I reach up to the radiator, pull the sensor, the new sensor, and half of it's gone.
Oh, so it broke when you twisted it.
It broke in the radiator. But I hand tightened, so I know the threads were there. But then I noticed something. I looked at the old Honda one and immediately took a ratchet and started banging the nipple.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds wrong. I banged the nipple on the Honda and it wouldn't bend.
Okay.
Well, it makes no sense that...
Small nipple, though.
Yeah, a little nipple. That the cheap Chinese part...
Yeah. So it's Chinese.
Why did it break? And I looked carefully, and someone had used some glue on the brass nipple.
So the dude
at the factory,
the guy in China at the
broke
factory,
this 2-cent part,
glued it back together so he didn't get beat, and put it in the box.
I mean, he's probably slave in China.
In China, probably.
China slave.
He's probably like 12.
So I go back to this auto parts place.
Malaysia.
AZ is there. You got to fill in the blanks. Don't Donald Trump me. AZ.
Auto.
And I said, hey, look at this. This should have never happened.
Did they agree with you?
They said, well, that's a shame. Where's the other part? I said, it's in the freaking radiator.
They want you to dig it out and show them?
Well, no, they could clearly see the glue. They said, they should have never let that leave the factory.
Duh.
I said,
You
well,
say that was what I'm saying.
Well, how much for the radiator? They said, we don't have them in stock. It's $322.
Because you can't get it out, I guess, once it's in there, right?
No. So they refunded me my $18.
You know what you could have done?
Well, I ordered a Honda radiator and a Honda sensor.
You could cut the corner off the radiator.
I think the problem was that feller in China cut a corner.
Well, you could take the radiator, turn it at an angle, shake it till the sensor goes all the way down to that bottom
Oh, I
corner.
tried that.
Then you cut the corner off. Just cut a big old hole in the corner.
Oh, how do I braze that? It's aluminum.
Flex seal. I've seen the dude make a boat out of it. You can fix the radiator with it.
You know, it hurt me to buy a non-OEM part to begin with because Honda was closed.
I know it did. That's why I'm picking on you about the flex seal. I saw this liquid nail or liquid welder. Was it JB Weld type of stuff? It's like that, but not that.
Well, when I was an AC tech, there was a lot of stuff that I did what you ain't supposed to. And I've gone back and looked, and that jack leg is still working.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's some things that have been done that I've seen done or done myself that I guarantee it still works to this day.
So I think I graduated from jack leg. Who was that guy on the TV? I MacGyvered it because it worked.
You MacGyvered it?
I MacGyvered it, not jack legged it.
Well, I don't know where the saying jack leg came from.
There was a guy called Jack.
Without a leg?
He did not have a leg, and he worked as a service technician in a service industry, whether it be plumbing, heating and air, electrician. You don't really want a jackleg being an electrician, though. You can blow some stuff up, burn people down.
Kill people. That's
That
the one
building-
thing I don't like to do is electrician work.
That building that fell down in Iowa,
Yeah.
that was because of an electrician jacklegging.
Cutting corners.
Well,
Can't cut corners.
he forgot to ground the building.
Oh, well, I mean, that's,
Come on, dude.
that's like step one
Ground it.
before you get to step two. So he must have got stoned, forgot to do steps 1 through 4.
Is Iowa a stone state?
I don't think so. But it's next to one, so.
You like my driving hat, Brad? I do. It was my grandfather Homer's driving hat.
You know, it kind of reminds me of Keebler Elf.
He wore this driving his. You can't find these cars anymore. They stopped making them during the Great Depression.
Pinto?
No. He had a Pierce Arrow.
Never heard of it.
Right. They stopped making it like right after he bought it.
It's kind of cool though.
They sold Homer the last one. It was convertible.
That's a cool hat. It's kind of crazy. I got a hat over there. My grandfather gave me. It says seagulls pooped on this damn hat, and it's got seagull poop on it. I guess I could wear it on the show next week.
We'll eventually get to racing, but if you guys watch the race,
Got a whole lot to talk
Yeah.
about there for sure.
What about your rabbit hole
So,
dive
I
down to
started-
your family?
Yeah, I was gonna say, talking about your grandfather's hat, I started digging into the Carden family history a lot last week. They've dabbled in a little bit of it here or there, but it's just never been a big topic. So my grandfather, his dad had one of those names that's kind of, there's not a lot of them. His name was Early Jack. So I went in and just Googled Early Jack Carden, who would be my great grandfather. So, like I said, it's quite easy to find it. I found Early Jack, started digging into his dad, who was Jesse, named after the outlaw Jesse James. And then his father, so it would be my great grandfather, my 3 times great, is named after my favorite president, and according to me, the last great president, George Washington. So there is a George Washington Carden in my family.
There's also a George Washington Carter. No, it's Carver.
Carver.
Yeah.
They probably knew each other.
They may have.
And I found out my family came over in the early 1600s on the ship Speedwell. We were basically part of the, first 15,000 OG Americans that got here.
Yeah.
I never thought of it. Jamie pointed all this out when we were talking back and forth about it over the weekend. You know, it's kind of crazy. My family survived a lot to still be here today. I mean, the famine, Indians, bears, what else?
More famine.
Lots of famine.
Riding in a
depression.
riding your pony, pulling a wagon kind of stuff.
We never went west though. You know,
Georgia was the West at one point.
They stayed in Virginia. They got to Virginia, stayed in Virginia. So, I guess Robert Carden was the first Carden to come over. I guess when he got here, he got 200 acres, and then each additional relative that he brought over was an additional 50 acres that he was given. So they stayed in Virginia for a long time. Then it looks like we moved west to Tennessee, somewhere in Coffee, Tennessee, that area for maybe a generation and a half. And then we ended up coming down to Georgia, went to Pike County and Fayetteville, and pretty much.
Well, remember Daniel Boone? He was out in the Wild West. That was Tennessee, dude.
Well, I'm just saying.
Hanging with old Daniel.
I mean, I had relatives that fought.
He killed a bear when he was only 3.
George Washington Carden was in probably one of the bloodiest battles in the war back. I mean, like we were talking, our families probably fought against each other in the war.
Well, they might not have been at the exact area, but they were shooting at each other.
No doubt. So, and now here we are today doing a podcast together.
Well,
I mean, they
your
were
daddy was a Confederate, mine was a
they
Union.
were shooting at each other at Gettysburg, and here we are.
Not shooting at each other.
Not
We
shooting
could,
at each
though.
other.
We got guns.
They get a lot of hits on YouTube, brother. That's kind of like that dude jumping out of the airplane. Like, it get a lot of hits, but is it going to be a good thing or not?
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have a Wild West show, dude.
Me, I had family that fought in the War of 1812, had family that fought in the Revolutionary War. I mean,
Yeah, I do too. I wonder if they fought together.
very well could have.
Huh.
Very well could have. They would have been out of Virginia at that time.
Well, at least they were on the same side for those wars.
No,
Well, your family arrived like, what, 1630s?
1640s, so yeah.
So your family actually got here 30 years before mine. They had a second generation on these shores when mine popped up.
Yeah, and they had a ton of kids too. Like the Cardin, it's usually like 11, 12 kids is what they would have. So there's a lot of Cardins running around. We're from Middlesex, England. That's where we started at.
See, my family never ventured more than about 100 miles from where they settled.
Yeah, we left
Ever.
We left there in England and went to London, but we were only in London for a little while, basically waiting to get on the boat to come here or to go to Virginia. So it doesn't really say what they did occupation wise. I hadn't got that deep into it.
You probably, once you go down that rabbit hole,
Oh yeah, I mean right now. I'm stuck on George Washington Cardin, my third great grandfather. We actually went to the cemetery, visited.
has anyone
His
else
gravesite.
jumped down the ancestry rabbit hole in your family?
Yeah, I got a cousin he's also, believe it or not, he's the fact checker for our show here. He's the one who calls me and tells me everything I get wrong all the time. So,
But we don't care about getting stuff wrong.
well, I actually verified all this with him too to make sure. Because I mean, he is our sponsor too. You know.
No, I didn't say I didn't like them.
You don't want to piss off Danny Cardin plumbing over there.
Well, you know, like I said, though.
But no, Stuart goes down these rabbit holes also. So he actually sent me a bunch of stuff on George Washington Cardin too. So
What was kind of weird is you sent me a picture over the weekend of your great-great-great-grandfather's grave.
yeah,
It's like 6 miles from here, dude.
no, I mean I'm like
Woolsey's the next town.
I'm like fifth or sixth generation. I think sixth or seventh generation Fayette County now.
Jeez.
Now that we're back, now we just moved here recently in the last few years. But yeah, it's crazy that's where
I
my
bet you.
family's been here so long.
Was it within shot of the Cardin tractor guy? The cemetery?
No, it wasn't. So there's my great grandfather is buried in Fayette County. My great great grandfather buried in Fayette County. My great 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 grandfather's buried in Fayette County, and my grandmother's as well. But none of the three men are at the same cemetery. They're all three at different cemeteries. So I imagine they got stuck in the cemetery their wife probably already had.
Probably.
I mean,
Well, when you if you
looks
die
like-
before your wife, she's
it looks
gonna
like the Cardin
decide,
men
right?
were like warriors, man. They're probably pretty bad dudes. You probably don't want to mess with them.
Well, you know, you survive 300 years in America,
America.
then you know
I mean,
you survive some crazy stuff, dude.
I've got a relative who was around in America when George Washington, the greatest president of this country, was serving in office.
Do you know what's great about George Washington?
Everything.
He had no party affiliation.
No, that's what it was. I mean, he had he had nothing to live up to. Like, there's nobody before, so.
Well, he set a precedent for how presidents should act, and nobody's paying attention anymore.
No, none of them pay attention now. So I want to give a special shout out to Designs by Sydney. She makes these awesome stickers. I actually went on there last night and I put some in my cart. I'm going to get a Kyle Busch one, and then I wanted to ask Jamie who he wanted. So I'm going to get the Kyle Busch winning victory sticker in the 3G car from last weekend. So
Nice.
I didn't know if there was a particular driver you wanted.
I really like Larson.
All right. I'll get us a Larson sticker too then. So
I'm backpedaling on Chase. He's my number 2 guy now.
I'm going to get them and put them on the air conditioner behind us.
If Chase can develop a personality, I'll become a Chase fan again.
Well,
Think he can do that?
become a person or game. No, I don't.
You don't think
I
so?
don't think he cares enough this year. I just think he's just not into it. But so I'll go on there and I'll go to this. The website's designs-by-sydney.com. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go check it out. Like I said, this is some great stuff on there. A lot of cool stickers. But I'm gonna go on there and get a Larson one and a Kyle Busch 3 Chi one this afternoon. So we'll be adding that to the studio here. Jamie, question. You ever had a speeding ticket?
Many times, Brad.
What's your fastest?
Um,
What's your worst? Let's say that. I've technically only have one speeding ticket, technically.
155 and a 45.
Ooh.
But I live rural. People hear that and they're like, oh my goodness, he's flying through town. There's no town out there.
Is this the one that you got thrown out
Yes.
at the lawyer's house?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he shouldn't have been clocking y'all anyway.
No, he shouldn't. It's a long driveway, but the cop was a jerk. I mean, it's a 3-mile driveway.
So you were doing 155 miles an hour on a driveway.
Well, he said it was a 45 speed limit, which it was on the county road that runs parallel to the driveway.
But you weren't on the county road.
Well, this, and I'm just going to, I backed the blue, but this guy's a pig. He's a pig.
You don't like him.
Well, the problem was there was other people with cars that were capable of going that fast, and they also received tickets.
So everybody
But
got tickets.
someone complained.
Obviously.
So this friend of mine has a 3-mile driveway. He owns a lot of land. Of course, you kind of have to have a 3-mile driveway.
Yeah.
Has a gate that was closed and locked. So this piglet sets up his speed trap on the county road. We're like, oh, look, he's writing tickets for people going fast on the county road.
Nope.
Well, then he shows up with 5 other cops to the gate and says, let me in. And the homeowner, I'm not going to expose any names.
Say, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
So the homeowner, my friend said, well, what right do you have to come on our property? And he said, well, you guys are speeding. And my friend said, there's no speed limit on my driveway.
Private property.
Yeah.
There's no arguing that either. Yet he still gave y'all tickets.
He gave us all a ticket.
He didn't even know who was driving what car.
No, because we got out at my friend's house.
That's what I'm saying. So he wrote y'all ticket. He wrote the car's tickets.
Uh-huh.
Assuming the owner was the driver.
Right. And we were trading cars.
Which is not, I don't know if it's illegal. I don't think it's ethical.
Well, they got dropped, but
obviously it wasn't right.
Well, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, your friend knew people.
Yeah, well, he's a judge.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Forgot that part of the story.
So, some phone calls.
If you work for the sheriff's department, writing the judge a ticket probably is not the best idea, especially when he's on private property.
Especially if he's a federal judge, because he probably knows your boss, the sheriff.
And now you're probably looking for another job.
Well, I don't know if he's looking for another job, but we still go to his house.
I'm talking about the judge's house, yeah.
Yeah, we got to. No, I'm talking about this deputy. I haven't seen him. Oh no, we drive. That's where we drive.
Oh yeah, I'm talking. You don't go to the deputy's house.
No, and the deputy no longer comes to the judge's house.
Yeah, he probably don't have a job no more.
Well, I think he looked like a fool.
I was trying to think. My worst speeding ticket. I've only, like I said, I've technically only had one speeding ticket, and it got dropped. I was doing.
Was that your yellow Corvette?
It was in a gold-colored Corvette. Pewter was actual gray.
Well, I was trying to quote that Prince song, but I just realized he wants to sing about a little yellow Corvette. That's still junior.
Oh yeah,
and senior.
And senior.
Yeah.
No, it was in a Corvette. It was in a 1999 Corvette. I was doing like 72 in a 25, I think. So I topped this hill. I saw the cop at the bottom of the hill. It was too late to do anything about it. So I went down to the next turnaround spot where I could find. I turned around. And as I turned around, I was just going back to the cop. Like, I knew he had me. There was no hiding it. So I turned around and was heading back. And as I was heading back, him on his motorcycle comes shooting by me. And I watch him in my mirror about wreck his motorcycle trying to turn around. As he comes back around the corner, I'm sitting exactly where he was, parked there, car turned off, sitting there, waiting on him. He jumps off his motorcycle and proceeds to cuss me left and right. Like, I'm worst thing God put on this earth. I'm below the poop on his boot.
But you stopped for him.
I know. And he's like, he kept saying, "Do you think this is Dukes of Hazzard?
Yes.
You idiot."
We're in Georgia, dude. They
And
filmed it in Covington.
I was like, I came back. So I knew better than to argue with him. I knew it wasn't going to get me anywhere. So I was like, "No, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir." That's basically all I said the whole time. He wrote me a ticket. I left there. A good friend of mine who was a lawyer at the time. His wife was district attorney for said county that I was in. Made a phone call, got the ticket dropped to a warning as long as I agreed to pay the same fine I would have paid if it would have been a regular ticket. So I wrote the county a check, or the city a check, paid it, and they dropped it. That was that. I have not, luckily, I'm more concerned about my gas mileage now than I am my speed. So, like, my goal is to have the highest average per mile on my gas gauge, which helps me keep from speeding, obviously.
Plus, if you use your car for work like we do, you get more money for your pocket.
Well, yeah, I don't want to. I did have a speeding ticket recently. The camera got me.
Oh, yeah, the camera ticket.
The hidden camera.
The non-constitutional camera.
In Georgia, we have these cameras in school zones. I think it's a great idea. I have no problem with you protecting the children during school zone hours. When the school light is blinking, turn the camera on. When the light is not blinking, don't send me a ticket for driving over the speed limit. That is not
But
ethical.
doesn't the speed limit increase when the school's not going?
Yeah, but so does, they still get you. 10 miles over, you're getting a ticket between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. And I don't think that's right at all. I don't think they should be able to write me a ticket if they're not there physically in person.
But don't they make it a civil action by turning it over to a company instead of the police department?
Here's the kicker. It said on the ticket, pay this fine or go to court and argue it and pay a court fee. So it was a $75 fine for speeding with a $100 court fee. I could have fought it in court, but it would have cost me $100, or I could pay it online for $75.
But aren't we allowed to talk to our accusers in court?
We are.
Are they going to bring the camera and you talk?
But it was
hello, little Kodak.
It was going to cost me $100 to go to court, and still the judge was going to say, "Dude, you were going 10 over the speed limit. You got a ticket. Did you or did you not break the law, Mr. Carden?" Yes.
Let's appeal to one of our TV lawyers here in Atlanta.
But I don't think it's ethical, nor do I think it's legal. There's no way it's legal.
How can you talk to your accuser if it's a camera?
Exactly.
So, you TV lawyers that sit there,
I don't trust it,
that artificially inflate our insurance because everything's a get-rich-quick scheme for you lawyers, why don't you guys get together and defeat these photo cameras?
Yeah, Ken Burns.
Let's defend our Constitution. Our politicians aren't doing it anymore.
Morgan & Morgan for the people.
Biden and Trump law firm?
No.
They're not defending nothing.
Who is
They're defending themselves.
Better call Mako. No, Mako's paying.
Better call Biden. Better call Hunter. The Hunter law firm.
Better call Saul.
Hey, you know what?
That would be a scary
Hunter,
law firm.
I will forgive you if you defeat
traffic cams.
Traffic cams.
He can't. He's hiding from traffic cams as we speak.
I will call my friend Scott, not the guy we work with, old high school friend.
Okay.
Scott the drug addict.
We work with a guy named Scott?
We do.
Oh, yeah. Old man Scott.
We've worked with Scott forever.
I know.
No, this is...
I keep... Grandpa don't listen to the show because he don't know how to work a podcast. But
now, I got this friend.
Need to teach him how to work a YouTube video. At least he could watch.
When he turned 18, got access to his $100 million trust. Total drug addict.
Still?
Oh, yeah.
Is he still alive?
I think he goes to rehab for vacation. Oh, I need a break from
I need to clean up a little bit. I'm going to go to rehab. Hey, talking about the police, Metallica played at the Download Festival
The
in the
down low?
The Download Festival in the
The down
United
low?
Kingdom Thursday night. And 15 miles away from the arena, they were getting noise complaint calls. 15 miles away. Metallica is old now. They're like old dudes.
Don't
They're
you
all in
think
their
they
50s.
plug their ears like I do at a concert, though?
I've seen Metallica
They're deaf.
multiple times. Like, they probably don't even hear it at this point. There's no way. Metallica is an extremely loud show, but 15 miles away, that's insane, man.
Do you believe it? 15 miles away. That's halfway to my house from here.
Well, meteorologists in the United Kingdom said that with the weather patterns that night and the way the wind was blowing, the prevailing winds, it probably helped carry the sound 15 miles. They doubt at 15 miles you're complaining.
Well, you got your community concerts here with those weird 60s bands in Fayetteville.
Never hear 'em. Never hear 'em.
I definitely don't hear them where I live.
Yeah.
They haven't invited Metallica, though. That's another 20 years from now,
They
isn't
had
it?
Brett Michaels here last year.
I saw that.
That would have been horrible. So,
Don't need nothing
hey, Noah
but a
Gregson.
walker.
Noah Gregson had to miss out this weekend due to a concussion. I mean, that was a massive hit he took at St. Louis. So he got out of the car, and you could look at him. He was visibly
He looked
hurt.
like he got punched in the head.
Yeah, he took a hard hit. So hopefully he'll be back soon. I haven't heard anything on when on that timeline. And they had Grant Enfinger fill in for him. My wife hates his names. Every
Boy.
time you hear him on TV, she's like, I just can't get over his name.
Wow.
It messes me up.
They call him in the pit.
Finger in.
Finger banger.
I guess
That was too easy.
I guess in finger is better than finger in.
Or finger banger.
It'd be like, have you ever seen that YouTube video called Fingering Friends? It's the ring, and you can get your finger rings.
You sure that wasn't like you porn there, Brad? I haven't seen that one on YouTube.
Oh man, it's from this. It's called like the whitest kids ever is the name.
Oh
of it.
yeah, I remember those dudes.
Yeah, it's like the finger ring. Get your finger rings.
They showed that corporate meeting where the guy ate his own poop.
Yes.
Yeah, that show was funny.
It had the nicotine one.
Yeah.
Like
those guys were off the chains, man. They were back there when Jackass was going.
I watched Jackass last night. I sat down and watched season 3, like episode 2 or something. I was sitting there with my daughter, and she's
really. She's like, Dad.
She's
Did
like,
you watch this 20 years ago?
So it was funny because she's like, oh, I like the videos where they do this because they were pulling Wee Man behind a van, standing on a red carpet, and he was dressed up like a king. She's like, oh, that's funny. I like when they pull people behind something, those kind of videos. I said, well, this isn't Fell Army because we sit around as a family and watch the Fell Army app on TV. I'm like, this was where that came from. Without Jackass, you wouldn't have Fell Army. You wouldn't have, without Jackass, we wouldn't have shorts. We wouldn't have Instagram videos of people doing stupid things.
Or TikTok.
Like, Jackass was the original for stupid things. Like, you didn't do nothing. We did stupid things before Jackass, but
we didn't film them and put them on TV.
Yeah, we didn't film it. So YouTube wouldn't be what it is today without the show Jackass. I'm sorry. I truly believe Jackass changed it for everybody. So we ended up fast forwarding through most of that show because she's 13 and there's just not a whole lot of appropriate things on there. But it was the episode Steve-O got his butt cheeks pierced together. I'd forgot more about that show than I remember. Like where they put the dude in a full body cast and they keep dropping him on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Or where the casket falls out of the back of the hearse at the red light. Dude, I love it. Greatest show. I mean, Jackass was a wonderful show, and the movies were even dumber. No, Dirty Mo Media last week, they did the whole business of NASCAR. I think we've jumped around a lot, but what'd you think? Joe Mattis?
Dude,
souvenir business.
I didn't know they made that much money on that stuff back in the day.
So if you're looking at the video, we have the Olympics car here, the number 3 Olympic car that they talk about in that podcast, and we also have the Bud car. I'm about to say Bud Light. the Budweiser car that Dale Jr. won the Daytona 500 in, and it is Revell. Like, I actually noticed, like, I have we have the Action Performance car over here, the number 3, Dale Earnhardt Dale Senior car, Dale Jr. whatever, IMSA raced car.
Who's the third driver? No one knows.
Kelly?
Kelly Earnhardt?
No.
Works for me.
No, I think his name was Kelly.
Oh.
Something Kelly. It's on the car. Look at it. You can touch
I
it.
don't see it.
Look at the other side of the car.
Whoa.
Where their names are.
Oh, they didn't have room for all 3, did they? Let's see.
Well, there's 4 drivers on there. Dale Jr., Dale Earnhardt Sr.,
I don't
Andy
see
Lally.
any of them. Oh, there we go. Kelly Collins.
Andy Pilgrim.
Andy Pilgrim. I know him.
I said Andy Lally.
Dale Earnhardt and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah. So,
Huh.
no, that was probably one of the better episodes this season, to be honest with you. I was surprised at how well I enjoyed the business of motorsports aspect of it.
But let's talk about the sinister side.
Who, Kelly, Teresa,
Oh, boy.
not wanting to share the money.
No, she wouldn't. I didn't
know,
know that's why Dale had to leave.
I didn't realize
Junior.
those other drivers were like Terry and although Bobby, Jeff, where he's like, Joe Mattis is like, no, I don't think we should sell right now. And they're like, no, 15 million, we're out. If they would have held off another year or two, that 15 million would have probably doubled.
But they really had nothing invested when they got the 15 million. They had just formed the company.
And in the early 90s, that was an even more amount of money than it is now. 15 million was worth a lot more in 93, 95.
They don't make that much anymore.
Well, that's what they said. The year Dale Jr. went from DEI to Hendricks, they sold $270 million worth of merchandise. The whole souvenir industry today is only a $100 million industry. That is insane. And Dale Jr. has a piece of that $100 million industry. I guarantee it. So does Earnhardt Sr.
Well, but, his sister said.
What his sister said?
Many things.
I like Kelly, man. I really enjoyed it. What about Chicago street course?
Oh, well, that's going to be huge.
They take their supplies up. NASCAR delivers their supplies to start building the street course. Lo and behold, overnight, it gets stolen. And NASCAR's like, oh my God, I cannot believe somebody stole our parts up here in Chicago. Who would have thought?
So I think this is what's going to happen during the race on pit road.
Somebody's going to get shot.
The jack man is just going to jack the car up, and residents of Chicago are going to take the wheels off. The problem is they're going to run off.
Bring those wheels back.
So
what's going to be funny is like Joey Logano is going to get hijacked on the back straightaway.
Carjack that sucker.
You're going to see some car just
yep.
swerving. Like, what happened? There's a driver running down the side of the
Joey
road.
with his helmet on. Hey, bring
my
back.
car back. Something like that. It's
dodging bullets as people are shooting at him.
We're going to have drive-by shootings. I mean, this has the potential to go really bad. And announced today, NASCAR tweeted out, the NASCAR Chicago street race has announced a multi-year partnership with the Special Olympics of Illinois.
Oh, well, that's okay.
We have a multi-year deal now with the street race.
Well, that's not good.
Chicago street race signed a multi-year. We haven't even run 1 year here.
Yeah,
What if it sucks? What if it is horrible? What if Joey Logano gets shot? What if one of our drivers gets shot in the middle of the race?
We probably won't go back if that happens.
Okay, but so why would you announce a month early a multi-year deal when you don't know what the product could be horrible?
Could we go back next year with bulletproof windows?
Probably. That's probably what we'll do.
And armored vehicles?
We'll put up armored barriers all the way around the track. That way for safety.
We could just, put a full barrier around the driver and make them drive off a TV screen.
Make them wear a vest.
Yeah.
Bulletproof vest.
Uh-huh.
Make them just stay at home and race around the Chicago track. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's safer.
I mean, I watched iRacing during COVID. Well, Well, there's one more sinister thing we need to talk about the download. This has been really ticking me off.
So I put this in the notes, but I almost feel bad being pissed off about it now.
Well, I mean, it's not our fault he lost his job.
I mean, it's obvious he's not that great of a podcaster either because...
See, our jobs require us to do a lot of driving, which means in between phone calls and stops talking to our customers, we have a lot of podcasts listening to do.
Correct.
Well, if you embed a different podcast in my menu for your podcast, guess what? I can't pull off the side of the road because I got an appointment to find the next legit podcast because the fake one was put in the shuffle.
You know how many people would be upset if they opened their app on their phone to listen to their Michelle Obama podcast and me and you came on?
What if I bought a Daikin?
Do you know how many people would be pissed off if we were the ones embedded in the Michelle Obama podcast?
I didn't know she had one. But
I'm just saying, could you imagine how mad her fans would be? Could you imagine how mad our fans would be if they clicked on race car spelled backwards and it's Joe Biden talking?
Or Connor Daly. Or Hunter. I want Hunter as a guest. You think he'll come on as a guest? I'm infatuated with Hunter and his partying.
You just put little crack rocks and he'll follow it like Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Just lead him right here to the studio.
I mean, I didn't get to live that way.
You know, if Hunter Biden came here, it would probably be a good way to keep the FBI out of my house.
For a year or two.
Don't go there. Hunter was there. We don't want to go there.
Or he might drop off some secret documents.
He could. He very well could. So, all right. Let's talk about Le Mans. I know you
Le Mans?
Yeah, you
Le Mans is like yoga, dude.
What I said?
I watched the whole thing, man.
Le Mans?
Well, that's what you said, Le Mans. That's yoga, dude.
I said Le Mans.
Or is Le Mans where you have the babies, the training for the babies, where they teach how to breathe? Is that Le Mans?
That's yoga.
No, yoga's where...
Oh, you do yoga.
Yeah.
Le Mans. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, isn't that it? Got to go to my Le Mans class?
Yeah, that's
well.
What were you thinking it was? Like Karma Sutra?
I don't know.
Some type of Karma Sutra, isn't it?
I tried to Kama Sutra, then my wife told me I couldn't do it by myself.
Jamie, what are you doing in the kitchen floor?
So that's the Kama Sutra.
Get out of the kitchen floor, Jamie.
See, you can't do the Kama Sutra by yourself.
The kids are home.
Yeah.
Where's your pants? Why is the dog in here? What are you doing with that peanut butter?
You know what kind of ticked me off about that Le Mans?
What?
Ferrari takes a 50-year break and they come back and win it.
I watched a little bit of it just here and there just to see what the whole Garage 56 deal was.
They didn't concentrate much on Garage 56.
The racing didn't?
Yeah.
No.
The broadcasts on
it was kind of weird seeing
Motor
that
Trend.
Big, tall car out there with those little bitty concept cars, though.
But you know what? I watched it. They would post.
I thought they did a good job.
On practice. Yep, those European fans were very into it, too. It wasn't just...
No, you heard nothing. I read nothing negative about it. It seemed like everybody was very receptive of it. So I'm thinking 24 hours of Daytona, we need a Cup class. A next-gen class. It don't even have to be a Cup Series driver.
Well, they own IMSA, so we could.
You could come up with 5 or 6 cars. That's all you need. Throw them out there on the track.
But have you thought maybe that
Hendricks has 4 drivers. Gibbs, 4 drivers. Trackhouse can partner with...
But have you thought about maybe
Spear.
this is the plan?
Maybe, because you know Jim France is a big sports car guy.
Well, he's been running IMSA for a long time.
That's what I mean. He's a big sports car guy, so this could be...
We need a France that's into innovation.
And the Frances also want to take NASCAR into Europe, so I think this was a good way to get them into Europe. Which, I mean, 1 car versus 37, 38.
Well, you know, I have a whole plan for the road course at Daytona. Not a 24-hour either.
How long?
3-hour increments. 3-hour increments. We bring the truck. We run it like an IMSA. We bring the Xfinity and the Cup cars. We split them to A and B. We're going to take the top half of each A and B, and they're going to run their own. So you go 3 hours. Just like they got 3 classes at Le Mans, or 24-hour Daytona,
Mhm.
we got Truck, Xfinity, and we got Cup.
Why wouldn't you do it 24
So we run
hours?
because there's too many cars. We got to cut it down.
Oh, okay. So you
There's
have
like 90
elimination.
cars between all of them. So yeah, so we got A
Well,
and B.
I feel like there's 90 cars at the.
We could make it a 2-day event, right? Because
24
usually
hours.
there's 2 or 3 races going on at Daytona on the
How
road.
about we put all 90 cars on the track?
So the
Last
back
car running-
lappers will be looking.
Last car running wins.
Well, here's what I was thinking.
I don't even if it takes 13 days.
Well, I was thinking a little differently. I was thinking 3 hours endurance, right?
That's what we
A and
run
B.
now.
A and B, except we run laps or miles. So we're going to run 3 hours.
Okay.
A and B.
All right.
No repairs.
Okay.
So you got 6 hours of racing A and B. Then we got the loser pack, right? They get 3 hours. So the losers get to race the winners now on the main. So you got 4 3-hour races.
Just so you know,
You can't work on the car.
So
It's basically
are you taking this field and splitting it in two?
yes.
And then you let all the.
So we got 45 cars each half, right?
Okay.
And in each of those 45 are running Truck, Xfinity, and Cup.
And how many advance?
Half the field, top half. Then we
And
go.
it doesn't matter if you're a Cup, Truck, or Xfinity. It's not.
No. We're gonna pick the class, top half of each class.
Okay. Yeah.
So your podium's gonna be the winner of the Truck,
Winner of the Xfinity, winner of the Cup.
right? Second, third place. We give you purse money. The rest of that, screw you.
No, I like this
We'll
idea.
make it a 2-day event.
Yeah, so you're basically running 2 3-hour elimination races,
And then a 3-hour final. Main.
and then
3-hour main.
and then a 3-hour last chance qualifier, then a 6-hour main the next day. I think you run 3-hour, 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 so that's 9 hours on Friday, Saturday, whatever, and then run 6-hour endurance race on the final day, because they run 4-hour races now.
Right.
Cup drivers do. And I think you make it a 6-hour event.
And Garage 56,
Proved it can be done.
plus they had a drivetrain issue and repaired it and got the car back out on the track, which I've got a friend that listens to our show. He was a little critical of that. I thought it proved that they were better prepared than most people thought, making the repair and get back on the track.
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, I was impressed.
I thought they did a phenomenal job for their first outing.
Hey, they started and they finished. And they actually did pretty good.
That's fact.
Yeah.
So
Chevy wins.
you think it's possible though for all manufacturers to come up with a car by next year?
Oh, I think we run the car we got now. We got a sports car, right?
Well, you got to make. Well, yeah.
You might need to lower the torque.
There's probably some minor adjustments, but I guess if each team had to build one car for IMSA, you would want like 2 or 3 Chevys, 2 or 3 Toyotas, 2 or 3 Fords.
See, my disappointment.
What would be the ideal number of cars to run at the 24 Hours of Daytona in the next gen series, next gen class?
Probably 4 teams. Don't you think? And have them running the
4 cars?
Yeah.
So I would think you'd want between 4 and 8.
Well, we had the one we went to this year. We had 62 cars. What was it? 67 the year before. Some fact finder will find it for us and correct us. But
Always.
yeah. If you add 4 to 6 cars, I don't think it's that. I mean, through attrition. I mean, we've watched 24 Hours many times. Through attrition, the course is gonna get.
Wouldn't you
emptier.
hate to be the driver in the first next gen ever 24 Hour Daytona class and you're the driver that wrecks hour 1?
Well, we saw Jimmy Johnson just randomly crash 2 years ago.
That was the middle of the night though, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was tired, didn't have his
Yeah.
Red Bull. He didn't know he was supposed to drink Red Bull. He didn't know he needed the spirit of Max in him. Max juice.
So let's talk racing. We have very little
We are,
Max
aren't we?
juice.
We're talking IMSA.
I
Or
know.
actually, no, we're talking Le Mans.
We have very little cup racing to talk, but first let's run the high limit sprint raced in That's the high limit series, sprint series, the 410 sprints raced in Nebraska at Eagle Raceway on Wednesday night.
Fun fact about Nebraska.
What's that?
When we were doing our championship cannonball run race,
We didn't drive through.
we did not drive through Nebraska.
Is that the fun fact?
That's a fun fact.
We dang sure didn't.
Nope.
So, Kyle Larson won at Eagle Raceway. First time they've been back there. Him and Rico Abreu put on a heck of a show the last 8 laps. I didn't know I liked dirt racing as much as I do. I absolutely love it. It's the best racing I watch. So that was Wednesday night, I believe. Yeah, Danny Dietrich passed Cap Henry on the last lap to win in the Ohio sprints at Fairmont. Phenomenal race, man. These guys are crazy. They had the dirt late model Dream at Eldora was this weekend. You have Blairville native Jonathan Davenport took the lead on lap 30 and never looked back. I mean, Chris Madden gave it a shot at the very end trying to pass him, but he just didn't have enough time to get around him. He had Ryan Timms win Saturday night at Lawrenceburg Speedway in Indiana in the NOS Energy USAC Midgets.
Hey, Truex
Those
won.
guys are insane. The guys in these midgets are insane.
Oh, no, they're insane. They got as much horsepower as Truex has in his winning car in a car the size of a go-kart.
Yeah, it's watching the sprints, the wing sprints and the midgets. These guys put it on the very edge of the line every single lap. I mean, in the 410 high limit sprints race in Nebraska, the leader of the race got over the cushion and flipped over, and he's done for the day. The leader. I mean, and believe it or not, it happens way more than you would expect. The leader wrecks time and time again because they push it too hard. And I'm sorry, Kyle Larson is the most talented race car driver currently alive. I have watched that dude do things in a dirt track car that should not be possible.
Hey, we've seen him in a cup car. Should not be possible.
Yeah, he actually makes cup racing interesting. I'm blown away. All these guys, it's insane.
Hey, the great Tony Stewart's like, wow, this guy's better than me.
Jeff Gordon called him, Mario Andretti?
Yeah.
The next Mario Andretti.
Mario
I mean,
did Indy and came over and won NASCAR.
Do you think there's a possibility that Kyle Larson wins the Indy 500?
Yes, if he runs it. Yeah.
He's doing it twice.
I think there is.
That's why I think me and you need to go next year.
Well, we need to put it on the calendar so we, unless NASCAR gives us that $250,000 apiece.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, I would endorse Bud Light if they paid us that kind of money.
So here's a question: $20 million apiece?
Sure,
a year?
Well, they've lost $20 billion, right?
I will endorse Bud Light for $20 million a year.
I'd drink instead of Red Bull.
Yeah, one a week.
You think it would put a bra on me?
Probably. It makes your boobs get bigger.
Make my shoes pink?
Make your shoes pink. Never. I'm not even going there anymore. I'm going to let that one go. So when's the last time you remember seeing a good road course race in the next gen car? That's one question. When was the last time you remember seeing an interesting Sonoma race? All right, so don't forget, sometimes crap, it does happen. And sometimes you need a plumber to fix it. In that case, we would call Danny Carden Plumbing, the official plumber of the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. The guys you call when crap happens. Tony Stewart and not Martin Truex Jr.'s battle they had there. How many times Mike Joy get that wrong yesterday?
Oh, Mike's losing his mind.
Yeah, Mike.
He needs some Prevagen.
I think we're going to hear about Mike's retirement here pretty soon.
Well, you know what? I really do think having Mac Murray.
Oh, Mac Murray does a great job.
And having Larry Mack in the booth
helped.
It is tremendous, dude. Can you imagine if you got those two and Harvick comes in?
Maybe just Larry, Jamie, and Harvick in the booth.
Yeah.
Go with that. We put
Clement. Well, hold it. You can call that dude that calls SRX races. He needs to be the color guy.
Bestwick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need somebody new, man. Like, I think it's time
Well,
for
it's
some
like
new blood.
Bestwick stuck on CBS.
Well, Bestwick did NASCAR years and years and years and years ago.
Who would be a good color guy though?
I think we need somebody new. I think you go to like this.
You go to a dirt race.
Go
and
to
pick one of those
FloRacing.
guys?
Yeah, get the guys off the high limit sprints
How
or
about Junior's
the
ex
Tizo
employee?
All-Star Circuit Series.
What's that big
No.
dude's name?
No, he wasn't energetic enough.
Love me
Dillner.
chubby.
Dillner.
Yeah,
Shrek.
Matt Dillner.
Shrek, right?
Yeah.
No, not him. I think you get somebody new, man. There's plenty of guys out there.
I'm gonna bet you that
Adam Alexander would probably do a good job.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
Move him up. But
hey, Jamie Little does a pretty good job on the truck races when she's in there.
I like Jamie Noodle.
Noodle.
I like Jamie Noodle. I like Jamie Little better on the pit road than I do in the booth, actually.
Let's get Danica up there. Let her be the color commentator because she don't know about racing.
I wouldn't let Danica.
Look at them nice Goodyear tires.
Yeah, no. Danica's not going to do
And
it.
my boob job.
Danica's not going to do it. Hey, congratulations to Ryan Sieg Racing Saturday. Got their very first ever victory as a organization. That's pretty cool.
You know, Sieg is kind of a badass race car driver's name.
Yeah, Ryan Sieg, yeah.
Sieg!
Well, Eric Amarillo, he won for him.
Armadillo?
Well, Kyle Larson was pushing a little too hard, got into some tires and messed him up. Let's talk about the Cup race Sunday.
Now he's won as many Xfinity races as Cup races.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Cup race
Cup
Sunday. So Denny Hamlin starts on the pole. Denny Hamlin spun out. We had a tire rollout on pit road where there is a wall on pit road. And then Mark Truex won. There's your recap in 3.5 seconds. That's really all that happened. Oh, Tyler Reddick got penalized for shortcutting.
That was smart, though.
Dude, Tyler Reddick has a problem. Could have stopped on the racetrack and brought out a caution with 3 or 4 laps to go. Instead, he cuts down back roads behind the track.
What was this that?
Drives to pit road.
It was like a 50-yard turn.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing.
It was no big deal.
NASCAR should have been down there at his window net
thanking him.
Instead, they penalize him. They hold him for a lap. Whoop-dee, the car's trashed.
Yeah.
Penalize him. Whatever makes you feel better, Mr. NASCAR.
You know what? I've got a problem with NASCAR right now.
I'm sure you do. Tell us all about your problem with NASCAR.
Well, you know, great things happen with innovators, right?
Yes.
So we got 2 Frances in a row that were innovators, right?
Correct.
Big Bill and Junior.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, cooking meth don't count as innovation.
Well, I mean, he innovated somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
One in racing. It's just like any business in America, large business, but after the innovators show up, the idiots show up, right?
Correct.
And then the idiots,
to the innovator.
The idiots want to increase their little fiefdom, right?
Correct.
So they hire more idiots.
Yes.
To work under them.
Yeah.
And these are the yes men, right?
And it doesn't ever work out. You see it.
The yes men ruin a business, right?
Yeah, it's their job.
So they become the slackers or the status quo.
Correct.
Well, at some point, they go, hey, this is really messed up, dude. They get a new innovator who comes in, fires the slackers and the status quo people, and starts bringing in innovators again. I think we're at that point in NASCAR.
Where they're bringing back the innovators?
Yeah, they're going to start firing the slackers and the status quo.
It's about time.
I think Marcus Smith is an innovator.
I agree.
So do they buy out all his tracks to bring that innovator in?
To bring Marcus Smith
into the NASCAR fold?
No, I mean, I think
we're talking the 2.
I think they could work with
leading
Marcus
families
Smith.
in NASCAR.
They could work with Marcus Smith and grow the business aspect of it. You know, NASCAR could innovate through Marcus, still a separate entity. I don't think they have to buy.
Do you think they're already doing that? They're kind of cooperating them?
I'm sure. That's how we ended up at North Wilkesboro. But the problem is Marcus cooperated and NASCAR gave him a crappy car. Goodyear also brought a tire to North Wilkesboro that didn't wear out. And if it didn't wear out at North Wilkesboro, we could put it on our everyday driving car and probably get 180 miles out of it. 180,000 miles out of it.
180 would be easy. I don't think I'd buy them.
Well, I mean, of course, you don't want your tires blowing up. So
Oh,
that's a wrap for Fox. Fox.
Yay!
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give the whole season?
Do I include
Fox.
Fox or the racing too? Or just Fox coverage?
The broadcast.
Well, I actually think they did better this year than last year. So let's say 5 is average.
1 to 10, 5's in the middle.
I'd give last year a 5, this year a 6.
Okay.
I think the people they brought into the booth, I think they would have been better off if they just brought a permanent person that was good. Jamie Mack. He would have really improved the booth for the whole season. Might have bumped them 2 points, 7 for their coverage. Because he's insightful and he's well spoken.
Well, he doesn't just talk to talk. He talks to add something. He's thoughtful and he adds commentary. He doesn't just spit out words like he has Tourette syndrome,
like me,
or like Boyer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's nothing like Clint, and he actually helps balance Clint out. So,
and I think having Larry Mack there is also a vast improvement.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they're bringing Harvick in next year.
So you're a 6.
I'm a 6 this year, 5 last year.
I don't remember what I would have been last year, but I know this year I'm a 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why are you a 4?
Honestly, the biggest thing for me is the cartoon characters.
Oh, they're stupid. I hate those things.
I hate it, and only because I know that a large contingent of NASCAR social media and drivers complained about it coming into this season. Last year was like a slap in the face. It was like year number 2 with it. Like, ha. Ever since COVID, we've been dealing with these stupid cartoon characters.
Well, let's go back
then we come back this year, and what do we have again? It's even worse. Denny Hamlin with Fu Manchu, and Kyle Larson looks like a freckled redheaded kid.
How about Bubba never looked like Bubba ever?
Ever. No. Bubba looked like Blaney the whole season. It was horrible.
With a little brown.
It was
Brown Blaney.
It was horrible, man. Bubba looked Chinese, no lie.
He did.
It was just, and Fox doesn't care. I don't feel like Fox cares about the product they put on the track. Last season, the whole second half of the truck season was run out of a 18-wheeler at Junior Motorsports. It was ridiculous.
Well, we can go back to my redneck business class.
I'm still saying
we're in the dumbass status quo stage of Fox broadcasting.
Fox needs to go.
Will they go, though?
Probably.
You think?
Yeah.
Think they're leaving?
I do.
You think CBS or, no, ABC doing Thursday Night Thunders kind of giving us a little hint at what's coming for the first half of 2020?
I think NBC.
NBC and ABC?
No, I think NBC and ESPN.
Well, that's ABC.
I know. So I don't think ABC would use the big network maybe for the Daytona 500 marquee races like that, maybe 2 or 3 a year, but ESPN for the majority of the season. That's just my guess. I mean, we got a whole nother year to speculate on that.
Well, we'll see. They'll let us know how crappy they're going to be with their broadcast next year on Fox.
Yeah.
They'll telegraph that sucker.
At the Daytona 500, we will know exactly how bad it's going to be.
The Daytona 500 of advertising.
I'm not watching next season. I will listen to every race.
MRN and PRN do an awesome
100%
job.
100% listen to MRN and PRN the first half of the season if Fox uses those stupid cartoon characters again. I'm not doing 2 seasons in the row.
Dude, the race is better
another season.
With Fox muted listening to MRN PRN.
I mean,
you get excited about the race. You're like, oh my goodness.
I was saying about everything I watched on FloRacing over the weekend, the announcers are excited. Every other race series you watch on TV, the announcing is exciting. NASCAR is the only series on TV where the broadcasters talk. So here we go.
Mike Choi is anything but joyful.
We have Kyle Larson going down the back straightaway behind Kyle Busch. He's going to draft up. Look, there goes Kyle Larson getting a little closer. They're going into the turns. Kyle Larson.
Help me, Clint.
Did you notice that Kyle Busch was running on the low side of that turn? There they both go through turns 3 and 4. Wow.
Clint,
Kyle
put
Busch
down that Jack
bounced
Daniels?
off the wall.
Help me out here, Clint.
Kyle just bounced off the wall in the 18. No, the 8. No, the 8. The 8. the 18
Are you drunk yet, Clint?
Dude, just get excited. Just scream. The drivers only broadcast shows more excitement. So we're midway.
How about Clint got very excited when Denny hit the wall with 20 to go.
Yeah. Well,
He interrupted Mike Joy, who was going.
That's because Clint was asleep. And when Denny hit the wall, it woke him up.
Yeah, well, I think Mike Joy's voice put him to sleep because Mike Joy's going, here they come with the start. They're coming around turn 7. And
what threw me off was here they go through turns 1, through turns 2, and here they go down through turns 3 and 3A into turns 4, into turns 7. What happened to 5 and 6?
I think Jamie Mack was elbowing Clint.
I understand you got rid of turns 5 and turn 6, but to go from turn 4 on the broadcast to turn 7, I know I'm dyslexic and counting's not a strong suit, but I have 5 fingers on this hand and 5 on this hand, so that's 10. We go 4, 5, 6, 7, not 4, 7. It don't work for me.
Well, have you noticed though? Let's say Indy. The leader's 20 seconds. Well, shoot. Let's talk about Max. 20 seconds ahead, right?
Yeah, he starts 20 seconds ahead.
I don't think Fox has the cameras the way Indy or Formula One has. They make the race interesting by ignoring Max. Have you noticed that? They'll be look at this battle for 7th place. I mean, I want to see a battle. I don't care what place they're in. If Max has a 20-second lead, I don't need to see Max until he wrecks, right?
But that's the problem with
Fox only wants to show us the leaders,
Yeah.
and they're 10 seconds
you
up.
watch an F1 race, they show the guys fighting or having a race. I say fighting. Racing back in the pack. You never see the leader. They go to Max before they go to commercial just so you know he's still leading.
Max still up by 30 seconds.
Spend 3.5 hours on Max. Fox and NASCAR in general is horrible about doing that. They will show Kyle Larson for 2.5 hours with an 8-second lead. And then they'll tell you, that's what kills me. And then they'll tell you, if they don't tell you during the broadcast on Sunday, they'll come on their Sirius XM radio on Monday and go, man, that was the best racing I've ever seen, 11th through 19th. Those guys were beating and banging and flipping and spinning and zigging and zagging and zooming. They were doing it all back there in the mid-pack. Yet none of us at home know that because all we watched was Kyle Larson qualify for 500 miles. I don't understand it.
Doesn't that? But when we go see the race live, we're loving it.
Yes, and it's
because we can watch what we want to watch instead of getting stuck.
Which goes back to what we've been saying for 64 episodes.
Show us racing. That's all we want.
Just give us a streaming service. Take the I don't even care if we have announcers.
Let me pick the camera I want to watch.
Let me announce it.
Yeah.
Let me and Jamie do the announcement. We want to broadcast NASCAR. If you're watching this, we're willing to do the broadcast on the streaming only.
And pay you for it.
We will.
What, 1 cent?
You give us a free subscription.
We'll give you our penny per listen on our podcast.
Yeah, we'll do it for a penny a view.
Yeah.
How about that? We'll do your streaming only broadcast for 1 penny a view.
What about Michael McVal? Dyslexia popping right out of my eyeballs. Dude, they screwed him, his pit crew. And what did he say on the radio? We'll get what we can, guys.
He just seems
what a nice guy.
I mean, what else do you say about it?
Kyle Busch would have dropped every word in the book.
Every other driver would have been furious at that.
That's why I loves.
Loves.
I loves.
I loves too. Loves is clean. Loves is clean.
Their coffee, they got that double shot of
extra
caffeine.
15% more caffeine.
Yeah, that'll get you across the country, dude.
All right, you want to jump in Twitter Says?
Let's go to Twitter Says since we somehow got a lot of content out of that crappy race.
I think we just talked for a while. I don't think.
Did you know that was in wine country?
We jumped from like the intro to the racing and nobody even knew it.
Give me 5 bottles of wine.
And we'll come back.
That race would have been awesome out in the stands, wouldn't it?
Woohoo! Ooh, that's a good idea. Maybe all the drivers have to chug a bottle of wine pre-race.
Oh,
jump in the car.
There we go.
Run till there's nobody left.
You got to chug it down.
I mean,
like beer bong,
a box of wine too.
Oh yeah.
Box. You take a funnel, a beer funnel, hook it to the nozzle of a box of wine.
Oh yeah.
Hold
Open
the
it
box
up
on your shoulder, and had the drivers just
Yeah, hold it up at the media center. Make
Make
it
'em-
drop 10 feet.
make them beer bong boxed wine right before the
Boo Boo
national
Brothers wine, $20 a box.
Yeah.
64 ounces of wine.
a gallon, $20 a gallon.
Heck yeah.
Every driver drinks a gallon. You know, they wouldn't even get off pit road.
That would be awesome.
Like Ross Chastain would be doing the watermelon slide down pit road wall leading out to the grid.
You ever wonder why a vineyard doesn't sponsor a race at Sonoma?
It's probably an alcohol thing.
Do you think we're not a...
No, it's probably
But
illegal.
Jack Daniels is on there. So is Bush.
Mm.
Why can't you
I don't
do
think it's the right demographic. I mean,
You
maybe
give me a bottle of wine at a race, I'll drink it.
Yeah, that's you. I
I don't even drink beer at a race. I'll drink the bottle of wine.
out of the bottle.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna get no fancy cups, dude. Give me
Put a-
plastic
Put
case
a
of
straw. Put a bendy straw.
It
in
actually needs to be a plastic bottle of wine. I don't want to drop it.
You
Wine will get you messed up,
got a
dude.
sippy cup. All right, let's jump. So it says Jeff Gluck says, "Was Sonoma a good race?"
Oh, what did he say about that? How did that go?
Dalton Good 8
What would you give the
said,
race as?
"I expected better, but I still don't miss stage cautions on road courses."
Isn't that the hardcore Bush guy?
Oh yeah, Dalton. He's from Left Turn Cult. If you don't know who Left Turn Cult is, look them up on YouTube. Phenomenal show. Make sure you watch their show. If you don't, you definitely want to check it out. Dalton has been on TV. I mean, Dalton's a trip, man. So he said he expected better, but he still don't miss stage cautions on road courses. Honestly, stage cautions
Would have
might
made
have helped.
I don't know. Would have made an extra hour race, wouldn't it?
Well, it would have bunched the field back up at least twice. And I don't know that would really improve Sonoma. Colin Fambro, at Colin Fambro says, "No stage breaks equals boring with these cars. Just the reality of it."
Isn't that the guy that produced Iron Man and starred as in Iron Man as the chauffeur? Favreau? Favreau.
Favreau.
Was that spelled the same?
I don't know his name. I don't even know his
John
first name.
Favreau?
Is that the guy's name?
The guy that
He was the limo driver.
and the producer of Iron Man.
Yeah, I didn't realize that at first, though.
Oh,
Somebody pointed that out recently, actually.
he's on a lot of Marvel stuff.
Well, duh. He wrote the movie.
I know.
He's the creator of that episode. That's back when Marvel was good. That's before Disney bought it and ruined it.
Well, they do that with Star Wars too.
Bought it and ruined it. At Graham Hill says, "I'm torn."
Don't we work with that guy?
No.
Oh, that's a different Graham?
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you about our Graham. So when we were at our executive retreat up in the mountains,
Yeah, Brasstown.
Brasstown.
Yep.
That Graham really messed with me, dude.
Did he?
Yes.
What'd he do?
He told me he's got this, I don't know if it's a picture chart
Picture chart?
of turds.
Doo-doo.
And he can tell you what's wrong with you based on what your turd looks like.
So did you poop in a box and bring it to him?
No, but I sure look at it every time. I used to not look at the turd.
And you compare it. Did he send you a copy of this,
Well, he said
this chart?
if you poop out like straw,
Straws?
stringy poop,
Yeah.
means you got colon cancer.
You got that then.
I don't either, but I sure look now, which kind of pisses me off. I didn't used to look at my turds till he showed me the turd chart.
I don't want to see the turd chart.
You know,
Do you have it on your phone?
it's like Pandora's box. You can't put it back in once you let her out.
Well, let's see what Graham Hill had to say.
Oh
about
yeah,
Jeff
back
Clark.
to Graham Hill.
Graham Hill says, "I'm torn. It was a very technical race, but I also enjoy being entertained. It was what an F1 race would look like if they couldn't ship the cars and had to borrow stock cars to make a race in the U.S."
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It was just as boring as an F1 race.
Except they didn't cover the people in the mid pack where there
I
was
think
exciting racing.
I would like to look. NBC does that radio style broadcast on road courses.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works way better.
It does.
It's just constant talking, and it helps me enjoy the race.
But that's the difference between innovators and idiots.
At Bendy Straw.
Oh, no.
At,
Whoa. What's your turd look like, Bendy Straw?
at Bendy023 says, "Good race, but didn't meet the wreck quota, so it'll be a below 50% pole."
What do you give it?
I
One
gave
out
it
of
a.
five.
I voted no on
1 out of 10.
Jeff Gluck's poll. Voted no, and I give it a 3. I thought it was boring.
We
I
kind of
thought
flip flop because I'd give it a 4. I think last year I was lower than you.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Huh?
Honestly, if I would not have watched the race yesterday, I would not have went back and watched it today. Of course, I wouldn't know it was that bad unless I watched it. But I'd have probably watched the recap, and I think the recap on Fox on YouTube, their extended recap, was 1 minute and 7 seconds long. The original recap they just did in a 15-second short.
So I got hopped up on caffeine and did the 24.
Yeah.
I did a few hours nap on the couch, a little couch napping. And then you texted me and told me race was on, and I realized it was on and watched it for a little bit, and then decided to hit record on my YouTube TV and cut grass. Because that's how exciting it was.
It was a very boring race.
I got a 0 turn. It's way more exciting than watching Sonoma.
So NWF is CH.
Ooh, official.
Yeah. I thought it was NW Fish, but there's a C in there, so Fish.
Maybe he's being funny.
He says any race
way.
crying Denny Hamlin finishes last in is a good race in my book.
That's how we were before we met Denny.
He's probably a Chase Elliott fan.
You know what? Does Chase Elliott? He lives up there by the lake. Think he fishes up there, old Chase?
Even Twitter says was kind of boring this week. I mean, nobody really had a whole lot to say due to this race. So Bob Pockris said, Truex wins a cup race at Sonoma. At CJ NASCAR 6767 says, talk about taking a race off the schedule. Sonoma has never been interesting.
But you know, I think they overplay this and oversell this race.
I think they just
so
like
you
going
get
to
excited.
I think NASCAR industry likes going to wine country.
Why you did that good analogy? Well, no, that dude Graham.
Yeah, Graham Hill,
Poop and Stick.
Graham Poop and Stiffer.
Yeah, so that was a great analogy. I got an analogy. So let's say you're looking for an air conditioner because we're in the air conditioning business, and somebody comes up and sales guy gives you 3 choices. He goes, "You got
this, that, and the other."
I'm going to call out some brands. I'm going to give you the best.
Can we get sued?
Variable speed. Got to have money to get sued, right?
I don't know.
I mean,
there's some LBs that would sue you.
Yeah.
You never want one of them loser bombs to jump on you.
I got a lawyer.
Pro bono. He said he wouldn't cover us though.
No,
he's our lawyer
at court. He's going to charge us his hourly rate.
He's our lawyer until somebody sues.
Basically, he's our settlement lawyer.
Until we need him.
He's our settlement lawyer. Up until court day, then we got to pay him. But anyway, they tell you we're going to give you a variable speed air conditioner.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, I want that fit. Because it's the best out there. Which we make.
Yep.
And I'm not even getting, well, I am kind of getting paid, right?
Yeah, that's a Daikin Fit.
Yeah, Daikin Fit. And I pick it. And they show up with a Billy Bob Thornton single stage last year's Sear 1 model. You're going to be pretty pissed, aren't you?
Yeah.
I paid you for a fit.
You buy a fit and you get a
no name
Truex.
Yeah. A Trennox. A Trennox.
Yeah, you get a Trennox or a Lane.
PL17.
Yeah, you don't want that.
You don't want no PL17.
Right.
You wanted the fit.
You wanted a Daikin Fit. You wanted the best. You bought the best. You ordered the best. You expected the best, and you get Sonoma.
Then you tell that contractor, dude, you told me I could put a driveway right here if I went with a fit system because it's side discharge. And now that thing looks like an ice box again, like the old one. That Trennox is a piece of doo-doo.
You know what they say. You wanted the best. Well, they didn't make it.
They didn't.
That's Guns N' Roses.
Uh-huh.
You wanted the best. Well, we didn't friggin' make it. Guns N' Roses.
So, that's the kind of disappointment I had with Sonoma. I was a little excited for it. I think they oversold it to me.
Well, at Benzo's 14111, he says, everyone hating on Sonoma just wants them to wreck every other lap. Y'all need to deal with it.
So he's from Sonoma, I guess.
Well, benzos, isn't benzos like a prescription drug that people get hooked
I
on?
thought that was that. You treat your hemorrhoid with benzos.
No, I think benzos is like an antidepressant that people get.
You
they
sure?
Take and drink on and get high. Something like that.
I've heard bad stories about getting a hemorrhoid. I haven't got one yet, but I heard it hurts, and you take a little bit of that benzos cream on there,
No,
and it
maybe I don't
makes it stop stinging, burning.
I hate to break it to them, but a Wreck Fest wouldn't have changed it. We had a Wreck Fest earlier this year.
Wasn't that exciting?
Yeah, so I don't think a Wreck Fest is what NASCAR drivers want, Benzo. I just think you're an idiot.
Watch the first lap of the Le
Benzo,
Mans.
deal with it. You're wrong.
I think he's from
You're
wine
the only
country.
one who liked it. You're a Martin Truex Jr. fan.
I think he's from Sonoma. He's a local.
Definitely. All right, well,
What about Weave Big Dave?
Are you going to talk about
I think he's from West Virginia.
WV Big Dave 1. I'm thinking, and it's not Weave. I'm thinking it's West Virginia Big Dave 1.
Hey, we got a listener up in West Virginia, Eric.
Yeah.
You know he defends us to his wife?
Thank God.
Man, thanks, Eric.
I'm just glad his wife defended us last week because
oh man, she had some friends jumping
Janet's
down
friends was gonna whoop up on us. We love Janet and her family. I mean, they're basically family to this podcast. I mean, they might as well be family to me and Jamie. And we were just picking on Janet a little bit last week with the Corey LaJoy stuff. I mean, we actually like Corey.
But she had a very good friend that took it the wrong way and was gonna.
She had a couple friends take it the wrong way.
Drive down Atlanta, do some drive-by shootings.
He's gonna get whooped. He's gonna whoop us.
Oh.
But no, it was all in fun. I think.
You know what the problem is? They're from West Virginia. They would fit right in Georgia.
Oh yeah.
They would say, "Oh yeah, they were from." I could tell by their accent they were from Edenton. They'd never find them.
No, I mean,
if they did something.
It was all in fun, and Janet knew that. So, but yeah, West Virginia Big Dave 1. These new cars they are racing in has destroyed NASCAR. The car has really hurt the great race car drivers and has made it an even field. We got no names winning, finishing top 5 to 10 every race, and it's not right. Larson, Elliott would have easily won that, and you know it. So I'm thinking he's.
See, I told you, West Virginia's a lot like Georgia, right?
Yeah.
If he would have been GA Big Dave,
it would have fit right in.
They were like, "Oh, he's from Griffin."
He would have said, Elliott, Dale Jr.
Mm-hmm. Same people.
Dale Jr. would still be winning today.
Dale Jr.
Dale Jr. would have won that race if it wasn't for this next gen
Even
car.
with his babies.
I'll tell you what, with that next
wife.
gen car, Dale Jr., if it was not for that next gen car, Dale Jr. would have 233 wins.
Even though he got him
17 championships.
He got him 2 babies and that wife.
He'd have 3 babies if it wasn't for the next gen car.
Yeah.
All right, Jamie.
That's what Amy said.
Next week, we're going to do a show. We're going to do a mid-race report card show next week since we don't have a race to fall back on. But in 2 weeks, we're going to Nashville, July 25th. Jamie, if we were actually going to Nashville, what hotels would we want to avoid?
Hey, this time in Nashville, I found some very vocal critics of the hotel situations.
It's just one?
Oh, there's only 2.
Oh, okay.
Because they were like all into rating this stuff.
Dude wrote a book.
Yeah.
All right. You better get on the reading.
So Greg wrote 1 giant crack pipe. Now remember, you can find these online.
There's pipes?
Many. Well, you can probably buy those on Amazon.
Well, they have a vending machine now in New York City that sells crack pipes.
I don't think Bezos cares what you sell on Amazon as long as he gets his cut.
Benzos?
Isn't it?
That's the guy we were just talking about on Twitter.
Benzos cream.
Yes, with your butt. All right,
so this guy gives it an outsider's view of hell. Well, that's one hell of a hell, isn't it?
It's a bad one.
Well, you went to Nashville, wasn't it? Kind of.
Yeah, it was pretty
weird. Kind of like the New York of the South.
I told you it was the most sketchy place I'd ever stayed.
Well, Greg calls it 1 giant crack pipe.
All right.
After being in Murphy's borough.
Murfreesboro.
Okay.
Murfreesboro.
You have to Google it, folks. We're from Georgia.
Murfreesboro.
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 He was there for work. My business partner and I wanted to hit downtown Nashville for some fun.
They was looking for some hookers.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Go see a country star.
Maybe.
Go to what's his face's Bud Light bar. Is that what he calls it? The Bud Light bar?
Who? Oh, Garth Brooks.
Brooks and Dunn. I know there's a Brooks in there.
Garth Brooks is the one who said that everybody boycotting Bud Light are assholes.
Do you think his silent partner might be Bud Light?
Probably.
That's what I'm thinking.
Trying to make their $20 billion back on his bar.
Yeah. But, give me $25 million.
Yeah, to each his own.
You and I will.
Have a Bud Light once a week.
Well, you need your $25 million for your Bud Light, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, $50 million.
Yeah. $50 million. We'll endorse you. After finding that most hotels were booked, we saw the stadium. Oh. Well, we might as well just read it from now on, huh?
Yeah, we saw the
stadium. We saw the stadium, and there was an end there from the highway and pulled in. We're getting sued.
Let's hope not.
Chuck.
Chuck, we need you.
All the way to court. And then you're gonna quit. He's gonna quit like Trump's lawyers, isn't he?
He gave up on us.
Shut your mouth, Jamie and Brad. I quit. After walking in the front door, if you can call it that, I immediately thought something was strange about this place. The policy here is that you can view your room prior to paying. But after that, you pay. You cannot get a refund. This should have been our cue to leave. Yeah, it should have.
It definitely should have.
I should have noted that the lobby smelled like cigarette smoke. That's it? Huh. We forked over our money and got a room anyways, though. We were then issued our TV remote. Dude, I think before you gave them and we were informed you had to have a $5 deposit. I would think at that point, you just don't give them the $5 and leave anyway.
Yeah.
You get a refund upon returning it. I never knew TV remotes were such a hot commodity. After grabbing our bags and heading back inside, the lobby had several homeless people standing around, including one gentleman that was rather overweight and an exposed man breast. Why didn't he call them man boobs? I like that better than breast.
Man breast sounds nasty.
It does. Man boob sounds like you got a little boobie.
I don't want to see your man boobs.
It should be noted that the lobby now smelled of human fecal matter. Is he accusing man boob of pooping in the lobby?
Yes.
Okay. Well, why don't they give him a key to like the bathroom at the pool? Not that I know if they have a pool.
You just pee in the pool.
Pee in the pool. Upon arriving to our room, again, if you can call it that, I noticed that the door had clearly been kicked in at one point. Why didn't they notice it when they inspected their room?
That's what I'm wondering.
And the frame had been poorly repaired. You could literally peer into the room through the crack. What kind of crack is he looking through? The crystallized crack?
Probably.
Okay.
If your own crack, it don't look as bad, I think.
The bathroom counter. So that hotel has a guy that counts bathrooms? Weird. Oh, you got to go further. It was supported by a piece of wood.
We've had that before.
And the shower had mold in it.
We've heard that before.
Due to the weak door.
The weak door caused mold?
I didn't know that. I'm not a scientist, but I have my doubts now. We opted to put a small chest up against the door.
I thought he said he had big man boobs.
No, that was the homeless guy in the lobby. That pooped on the
So
floor.
He has no boobs.
That's the pooper.
He's going to put his breast up against the door.
He probably poops a lot if he was a big man with boobs. We need to get Graham on the case. He can diagnose his diseases or lack of vitamins. When we headed out to downtown, so if you put something in front of the door, how do you head out? Then you have to move it?
Yeah. Maybe they put it on the outside of the door so they had to at least step. You got to step over my chest.
As we passed through the lobby, yet another selection of homeless people and junkies were on display. So they rotate them in and out?
I guess you get to buy.
It's like a junkie merry-go-round. The lobby this time smelled like fried catfish. Sounds like they got
So the lobby went
right?
from smelling like cigarette smoke to human feces to catfish.
While out on the town, we spoke to a police officer about where we were staying. He described this place as being a giant crack pipe. Well, that's probably why I called it that in the
Probably.
review. When we arrived back to the motel, we used a side door to get in. Walking down one of the hallways, we discovered that every room on the ground floor had been torn out and looked like a junky small slice of heaven. Clustered around the elevator were shopping carts from several of the local retailers. Huh. I wish you would have told us which local retailers. Target, Kroger, Piggly Wiggly.
I think the homeless have boycotted Target too.
Because they sell Bud Light?
Yeah.
Or when is homeless month? Homeless awareness
It's
month.
the 13th month of the year.
So
Jeff Gordon weary.
okay. He's like the richest homeless dude.
You don't remember when Jeff Gordon made the championship that year? They added an extra person, and the comedian at the awards banquet was like, "Hold on, this just in. We're adding a 13th month this year. We're gonna call it Jeff Gordon weary." All right, keep going.
Well, he says I had to go out later that night to grab my phone charger. This guy's an idiot.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He already knew it was sketch.
Yeah, somebody could have stole that phone charger you left in the car.
And I discovered a heroin user passed out with a needle and band still in his arm. Interesting stuff, let me tell you. Well, you just did.
Yeah.
In your review. We survived the rest of the night, but it's not something I'd ever consider doing again. Well, it sounds like the room wasn't that bad.
I don't think
I didn't hear any roaches or rats running around.
Sounded like a clean room, except you could see in it through the crack in the door.
I think if we were staying there going to the Nashville race, though, I would be concerned even for the snail car.
The snail trail?
It might get raped out there.
Oh, yeah, your car?
Yeah.
Somebody would pull its hitch.
Uh-huh. That would be wrong.
All right, where are we going next?
Well, hopefully they...
Hopefully you won't read the name of this one.
No, it's the same hotel. So I already read the name.
Yeah. It's the Inn by the stadium.
Yeah. Or reverse that. Great. And this is Temperance. Temperance wrote this.
Oh, she's a dancer.
You think she's Baptist?
No, I think she's a dancer.
Or Quaker?
I think she's a dancer.
We might be the only...
She dances down at the Mousetrap in Nashville.
We might be the only Quaker Baptist podcast in America. Disprove us. You can't disprove us.
Find us another Quaker Baptist podcast.
Yeah.
Who are also Cannonball Run champions.
And conservative.
We are probably the only conservative Quaker Baptist Cannonball Run champion podcast on
in the
Spotify.
World.
I'm
going with the whole world.
Yeah, I would.
You might have done one, but you're not a Quaker Baptist Cannonball Run champion.
Definitely. You can't hit all three of those.
No, you can't.
Guaranteed.
With a Prius.
Guaranteed. With a hitch.
Mm-hmm. For
bone
towing.
Stock, bone stock.
Bone stock.
And if you almost got kidnapped.
In
that would help.
New Mexico.
Yeah. By an Indian.
They wanted the Baptist, but not the Quaker. Did you notice that? That's a little biased.
Well, I don't think they liked oats.
That was just one family of Quakers.
It's the only Quakers I know
that did the oats. You
know, that's why I haven't went to church with you. I don't want to dress up in that Quaker outfit.
Do you know Quakers also started General Mills, the other cereal company?
Sounds like a monopoly.
I'm not sure what Kellogg's was.
Quakers, probably.
Universalist,
probably.
Which was
what was that?
I think we would have
Saturday Evangelist or whatever.
When you're allowed to talk in the meeting house, I think someone would have said Kellogg was also a Quaker.
Anybody in here know Kellogg?
You know, Calvin Coolidge was a Quaker, and so was Nixon.
Well, somebody had to do it.
One, they say, caused the Great Depression, and one broke into that hotel.
Oh, that is Rusty Wallace, not Kurt Busch.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Oops.
Kurt Busch signed the pictures I had. Rusty signed the car.
I think maybe we should have a Daikin car in NASCAR.
We're going to get some new ones. I'm going to get that Kyle Busch 3G car put up here. Then you can pick one.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Get to reading.
Have you ever wanted to stay on what can only be described as a decommissioned zoo exhibit?
Yes.
Or needed the crack-addled eye of a front desk clerk to keep people out after 9 p.m.? Visiting hours have elapsed.
I've needed that.
Then try this hotel that rents 2 beds per room but demands only 1 occupant.
What?
People toss around words like hole and cracked in so casually these days that it's nice to see that there are still business willing to go that extra mile and really stand out from the rest of the competition and redefine, exemplify those terms.
It is.
Let's take a moment to appreciate some of the finer points of the Stadium Inn, which I've already disclosed.
Yeah, let's take
I'm
a
getting
minute.
sued.
Let's take a minute.
You'll find basic amenities like towels. Bless you. No,
Thank you.
I don't think there's bless yous there. Soap and toilet paper conspicuously. They sound more intelligent than me.
They definitely do.
Absent in the rubble of what passes for a human habitat. The bathroom sink and counter, at least the room I stayed in, will be half removed from the wall, clinging precariously at a 20-degree angle, preventing the seat of the toilet from staying in the upright position. Wow. They got one of them things that measures degrees and studied the degreeness of that.
Yeah, apparently.
They're engineers. Very nice touch. If you place it like mine, then you'll find a toilet seat that looked like Paul Bunyan tried to put a fire out on it with his axes. Well, that's really disgusting.
So it was broke?
Sounds like it got hit with some axes.
Get your axe off that toilet.
Wow. If none of this is your thing, you can visit the ground floor to witness men practicing sodomy.
What if that's not my thing?
I wouldn't go to the first floor then. If that's not your thing,
I swear I didn't read ahead.
then girl on girl is just the floor away. Or do you like boy on girl?
What if that's not my thing?
That is also available. But remember, heroin addicts are always severely underweight, so rib cages are more visible than private parts.
Oh, okay. So it's a sex show they're putting on here?
I don't think it's a show. I think that's where they do it.
They just don't hide it.
Yeah.
Just like the sidewalks of Los Angeles.
Yeah. Open wounds, sore face ulcers from the meth. Imagine Walking Dead zombies procreating.
Okay.
I can't speak for all rooms, but the bathroom floor is more curled than a taco shell and had the same consistency. Oh, that's really nasty.
What kind of taco shell?
Probably Taco Bell.
Okay.
Isn't that from Nashville?
Yeah.
They probably serve that at Garth Brooks's bar.
Tacos?
Taco Bell with Bud Lights.
Probably Bud Light tacos.
Wow. I'm still kind of stuck on that face ulcers. Do you think that's a real thing?
Probably.
We're going to have to Google that when
From
we're done
meth.
recording. Perhaps you find towel racks mounted on a wall to be upscale. Then you'd be glad to know that the towel rack was ripped from the wall and left dangling at an odd angle.
Well, at least they left it.
If you're like me and have always been a fan of this old house, you'll appreciate the tattered remnants of wallpaper held in place with the copious stains that adorn those areas and haven't been shredded. Very DIY. Do you have a feeling this person is a wannabe writer?
Yes, I do.
Maybe they went to Vanderbilt University. They do call that the Harvard of the South.
Mm-hmm.
But in Georgia, we call Emory the Harvard of the South.
That's where they do those experimental sex changes on the kids.
At Vanderbilt?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
With the kids' permission?
Well, I mean, I'm sure the kids are asking for it, but I don't think the kids should be getting what they're asking for.
I don't think they allow that in Tennessee.
That's why Tennessee's passing a law against it, because they were doing it at Vanderbilt.
Ooh.
Yeah. Talk about the Harvard of the South.
Well, you know what Harvard does up there.
Cut your wiener off. All right. For those,
Do they got man boobs up at Harvard?
man breast.
Is that what they call it up there? Where
They put them on your windows
See, I didn't get into Harvard.
to hold your door shut.
I applied for Harvard.
They use their man breast to hold your door
They
shut.
didn't even send me a letter turning me down.
Who's still laughing that you applied?
You know when you take the SAT, you can pick like 4 schools to send your scores to?
Yeah.
Harvard was one of them.
I want to send mine to like TBS.
Well, I'm not going to share my SAT scores now. People will laugh.
I don't even know what mine were, but I did the any, mini, miny, mo. All the way down.
I will share this. I did the LSAT to go to law school.
Yeah.
Old scoring system. It's changed now. I got a 42.
Out of
I don't know.
7,000.
They said it was pretty good. Some state schools and some non-bar affiliated schools said that I could. The Nashville School of Law sent me literature to get me to apply.
Anybody will take you.
But I did a little research, and this is before the internet. You can only practice law at the Nashville School of Law in Tennessee.
Oh.
Because they're not a bar school.
Oh, it's like an online.
American Bar Association. No, it's not online. The state will let you sit for the Nashville bar. No, I guess that's not a state. The Texas bar.
The state of Los Angeles.
Yeah. The state
That's
of
what they said at the
Snip and
Coliseum.
Tuck.
That's what they said at the Coliseum this year. State of Los Angeles.
Oh, anyway, back to the review. For those third world refugees, or anyone not quite used to the idea of carpet, they have ensured that an avalanche of dirt and grime awaits you in your room.
That's nice.
Well, that's because the floor is shaped like a taco. It's kind of like a half pipe for skateboarders.
Kinda.
I was so touched by this that I planted some corn here. So you could have some room service, seeing how there was no phone book or any other means of procuring food. What, do they not have a smartphone?
I guess not.
Maybe DoorDash refuses to go to the...
Hey, I told you about the flower bed in front of our house. The squirrels, I feed my squirrels every morning and every afternoon. Twice a day I feed the squirrels out of a deer feeder.
Just decide to plant corn?
The squirrels have been hiding the corn in my front flower
Oh, is
bed.
it growing?
And now I have like 7 stalks of corn growing randomly in the front flower bed of the
I
house.
wonder how good it'll taste.
Well, I'm just going to refeed it. They're self-sufficient now. They're self-sustaining squirrels. Well, with Biden charging...
Hey, that's green.
Look, Biden went from $7 for a 50-pound bag of corn was $7 under Trump.
Do you think Biden makes the corn?
3 years ago under Trump, it was $7. Now it's $20 a bag. So yeah, Biden corn. My squirrels are having to now grow their own corn because I've had to cut them back from 3 bags a month to 2 bags a month.
What about a Coca-Cola? You used to get a 6-pack of them baby Cokes that I drink for like
my squirrels
$2.
I'm not giving my squirrels Coca-Cola anymore either.
Now it's $4.88 at Walmart.
The only way it gets cheaper is if they take more out.
There.
Buy this 2-ounce Coke for $1.
Well, they said it was more healthy. Now they're going to give me 3 ounces and
They're
charge me $1?
They'll start adding fentanyl to it, so it'll be cheaper.
Well, they start with cocaine. Why not finish off with fentanyl?
You know, in the world of Coke, they claim that's false.
But I have a book on the history of Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola is trying to change their history.
Well,
if they say it enough, there'll be some stupid people.
They want to be important, just like, you know, they're media hounds. I mean, come on, let's just say it for what it is. Do you care how other people live? I do not. I don't care. But if you want to force me to live the way you do, anyone, pick your group. If you want to force me to live the way you live, I am going to rebel. Yeah. I'm not going to do it.
I mean,
this Quaker ain't cotton to no change that I don't want.
You got a crazy Quaker here.
I'm a fighting Quaker, dude.
All right, let's wrap this up.
I hope I don't get voted out. Speaking of furniture, let's dwell on the bed situation as part of the unique Stadium Inn experience. One bed has 2 mattresses stacked upon each other, while the other consists of a shattered box spring that, like everything else in the room, made the bed slope at about a 20-degree angle. They got that compass, don't they?
Got it.
That's what you do circles with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Protractor. That's it. Right?
I don't know. Square.
Triangle. Triangle. That's what it is. Triangle. Masons, dude. Masons.
Yeah.
It was like entering a Dolly painting. Did I say that right? I know who he is. That's the Melton Clock dude.
Yes.
I love his stuff, but... Or is it Dali? This person's he went to...
Salvador Dali.
Yeah, this dude went to West Point.
I went to art school, so...
Yeah, you probably saw that in your books.
Oh, yeah. $700 books I had to buy.
I was at St. Petersburg and went to his museum.
Did you?
Or maybe it's not his museum and they were just showing his paintings. But it's pretty wacky. That dude was on some drugs.
All jacked up on Mountain Dew
Oh, I don't like Mountain Dew.
or Red Bull.
It was that apricot Red Bull. Ugh.
My knee's going 100 miles an hour over here, so.
Well, anyway,
Yep.
it was a lot less thought than that dolly painting. Care and safety were not involved. Unfortunately, you may not find the same thing in the remainder of their rooms because I was assured that this was one of their nicer rooms. Of course, for my money, nothing can top a headboard dangling menacingly over your head as you try to sleep, which you can experience at the Stadium Inn. And it's seen fit to unfit each room with a state-of-the-art air conditioning system that is wholly incapable of removing the delightful aroma. Drink it in, people. That is history. You're smelling. As they got, you know what? They went so far, they started screwing up their English here.
Well, when you write 3 pages worth of review, it happens.
As your night wears on and the natives become restless, you may want to try the cracked view out of the peephole. Nothing says secure like a broken peephole covered with some kind of substance. If you're not saying, gee, I wish I could come and go as freely as the cockroaches that are scurrying in and out of my room, then you're home. Otherwise, you probably should run. Of course, if none of these things are present, or if you're not moved to flee, call down to the front desk and see what they can do for you. I'm guessing not much unless there is crack involved. In summary, this experience could only be improved if they tore the building down and rented out the rubble as rooms. It would probably be safer and cleaner. Come on, even Norman Bates cleaned his hotel. A beaver lodge has better craftsmanship, and it's made of mud and sticks. I do not recommend this place for boarding your pets, much less as a dwelling for humans. As one review stated, just run. Finally, I ran out of the film taking pictures and had the sinking feeling that the last person in the room doing so had a badge on. Huh? Did they kill someone? Is that what they're saying?
How old is this review? Who carries a camera with film? What kind of idiot? Like, I don't even trust this reviewer now.
It wasn't that long ago. They had iPhones.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to trust a reviewer who carries around filmed camera.
Maybe they carry around fentanyl too.
Probably. All right, so next race is going to be...
Did I tell you about my race coming over here?
No, but the next race will be in Nashville since we are going to do a show next week, right?
So we find new hotels?
No, I mean, are we doing a show next week? Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right, we're doing a show
Because I'm
next
going on
week.
vacation.
Yeah, so we're doing a show next Monday. We're going to review the top, just kind of where we see the top 16 drivers currently.
We're going to do like the big boys. We're going to recap. But we're going to record it. We're not going to steal our own recordings and make a new recording out of our old recordings.
It's not a recap, though. We're doing a mid-year report card. How about that?
Okay, that works.
So we'll do a mid-year report card. We'll take the top 16 drivers that are currently in the playoffs that will advance to the finals or the playoffs or whatever. We'll take the top 16, and we'll do up to 20 drivers. That way, if there's any that aren't in the top 16 that we feel we need to discuss, we will. But
can I do a public service announcement?
Yeah, I mean, this is our close now.
So if you need a new air conditioner, and you see a contractor, it's called venting. They release your refrigerant up into the air. That's illegal.
That is illegal. They're supposed to reclaim it.
Yes. Pull out your phone and videotape it.
Send it to the local news.
Send it to the local news because that's illegal.
Yeah. And we don't want contractors doing that. It's bad for the environment.
And where we work, Daikin,
yeah, we actually pay you to.
We will pay contractors to reclaim their refrigerant. Yeah, we'll give them money for it.
We're encouraging them.
So, do yourself a favor.
And make sure you hire a contractor who's reputable.
Save the environment. Yeah. And when you ask a contractor about how they're going to change your air conditioning system out, ask them if they carry reclaim machines on their vans.
Yeah.
And if they don't,
they're not environmentally friendly.
Welcome to the hole in the earth above your head. Yeah, sorry.
It dangles above the southeast, probably.
But you can even tell them, look, you can say, hey, look, and I want you to pick our brand because it's the best one out there. But even if you get another brand, You can tell your contractor, hey, look, Goodman Daikin will pay you money
to reclaim,
to
be environmentally friendly.
And you know what? Don't even take a cut out of it. Make it your tip. Say, hey, look, I don't even want my cut.
No, you get to keep it.
Take that refrigerant, drop it off at a Goodman Daikin branch, and you'll get paid for it. But that's my public service announcement. Save the earth.
That's Jamie's rant for the day.
Save the Quaker Earth, because we invented it.
Save the Quaker Earth that he invented. His cousin Al Gore invented global warming. So
don't bring up
you're
that
giving
cousin.
You're giving a public service announcement that supports your cousin. So, all right, that's all I got this week, and I think that's all Jamie has this week as well, right, Jamie?
That's it. My public. Oh, the race. So I drove my Porsche here.
Yep.
And the next town down from Brad's, actually the town after that, Griffin. I'm at a light, enjoying my car, my mid-engine awesomeness. But I'm not driving
in his driving hat.
In a reckless way.
In his Keebler elf hat.
So this Chevy HHR, which is like a cheap copy of the Chrysler PT Cruiser, little baby van, pulls up to me at the light. And I just look over to him. I actually had a customer call me. So I got, I'm talking to him on the phone. I look over. Light turns green. So I take it, it's a stick. I go to 4,000 RPMs. It sounds awesome. Not 5. 5 is when I want to really sound like a badass. Just 4,000 RPMs. I go to second gear. Third, fourth. It's a 6-speed. So the next light, I didn't even hit 5th or 6th. Next light, the guy rolls down his whatever it is, PT Cruiser HHR window. And he starts screaming at me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have the top up, so I can't really hear him. So I roll down the window and he goes, I beat you. So I didn't know we were racing.
You should have looked at him and said, I'm sorry, I was talking to your wife.
No, I just screamed back, good job! And rolled the window back up.
Sorry, I was on the phone with your mom. What an idiot.
Yeah, what an idiot.
It'd be like me in the Mini Cooper pulling up next to you. Like, I beat you back there.
Don't you need to let me know we're racing?
Yeah, it's a one-way race. It's not even a race at that point. So,
but you know what? My car's made for curves. It's not made for straight up anyway. But anyway, that's all I got. Don't be an idiot.
If there's anything you want us to talk about on this show next week, since it's an off week, kind of like this week, we didn't have a whole lot of racing to talk about. If you got something next week you want us to talk about, shoot me a DM on Twitter. Let me know.
I think I'm going to read Max Van Stupenheimer's bio while we drink Red Bull.
All right. So,
and I'll bring us white T-shirts we're going to do our Denny.
Oh, yeah.
T-shirt.
Denny delivers.
With Sharpies. Yeah.
All right. I got a white T-shirt in the house.
I got to go up there Tuesday next week.
All right. I don't know what I got next week, but can I go with you?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you can cover for me when I go on vacation. So.
Yeah, I probably need to go meet these guys so I can cover for you. Okay, that'll work. All right, well, that's all we got this week. Thanks to everyone who listens, watches, shares the show on social media, everybody who retweets it, tells your friends about it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Check out our videos. Check out this video. If you haven't watched it, go to our YouTube channel and watch this video. Check us out on Spotify. Make sure you rate us there and follow us. If you listen to on Spotify, make sure you click the follow button. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcast and leave us a review like Brandon did. We greatly appreciate that.
Thanks, Brandon. We love you, man.
Definitely appreciate it, Brandon. Send us a DM or email us at racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com, and I'll read it and answer any questions that you have on the show. Like I said, you can email us, DM us, add us, we're pretty easy to get a hold of. And check out our merch store and our website. It's racecarbackwards.com. Other than that, that's all I got. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you later. Bye, everybody.
Let's circle back to Reclaim.
Over. Bye, y'all.
Dude, I don't know how my grandfather wore this hat and this Pierce
Are you
arrow.
going to say bye?
Oh, bye, everyone. I thought we were off the air.
You just listened to Race Car spelled backwards. For that, we thank you.